We've all been there, right? You're holding a baby and suddenly they just lock onto your face. And I mean, locked on. It's this intense, unblinking stare that's kind of cute, but also a little weird. You smile, you wave, you do the thing, but have you ever stopped to wonder what is really going on in there?
So, why do they stare so hard? It seems like such a simple question, right? Well, it turns out the answer is, well, it's anything but simple. And we're going to dive into it. Because what scientists have discovered is that this simple stare, it's actually one of the most critical, most important things happening in a human being's development.
And I'm not exaggerating here. What we're about to uncover will completely change how you see your baby. This goes way beyond just a cute bonding moment. We're talking about a hidden conversation, a conversation that is literally building a mind from scratch. Okay, so first things first, let's tackle the most common theory you've probably heard. You know, the one that seems to make a lot of sense at first.
So the common idea is pretty simple. Babies stare because their vision is kind of blurry and faces are just really interesting shapes. And yeah, for a newborn, that's partly true. Their world is pretty much limited to the distance from your arms to your face. But here's the catch. By just 3 months old, they can see the whole room. They can see the TV, the cat, you name it. And yet, what do they choose to lock onto? Your face, every time. That's not blurry vision, people. That's a choice.
And that choice is where this whole story gets really, really interesting. So if it isn't just about blurry vision, what's actually going on when they stare at you? What's happening between their brain and yours? Okay, get this. Back in 2017, some researchers at the University of Cambridge decided to find out. They put these little EEG caps on babies and adults to measure their brainwaves while they interacted. They were hoping to find something, some kind of connection. But what they actually found? It was something nobody saw coming.
They found something called neural coupling. Okay, I know that sounds super technical, but stick with me. It's basically this. The brain waves of the baby and the adult started to synchronize. They started firing in the exact same rhythm at the exact same frequency. It's like their brains were literally getting on the same wavelength.
And here's the crazy part. They figured out exactly what caused it. When the adult looked away, the brainwaves were totally out of sync. Nothing. But the second they made eye contact again, boom, the brains started syncing up. That stare isn't just the baby looking at you. It's them sending out a signal. It's an invitation to connect on a brain level. And we're not talking about a tiny little blip on a screen here. This was, and I'm quoting the researchers, the strongest neural coupling ever recorded between two individuals of different ages. Just think about that. The strongest connection ever seen. It was like the baby's brain was using the adult's brain as a blueprint, as a guide to figure out how to work. Okay, so their brains are syncing up. Cool trick, right? But so what? Why does it matter? Well, it's because the baby is using that connection for something incredibly important. They're basically downloading a massive file from you called How to Be a Human. There's a name for this. It's called social referencing. And you've seen it happen. A stranger walks into the room. A dog barks. What does the baby do? They don't react right away. First, they look at you. They scan your face. Are you smiling? Okay, this is safe. Are your eyes wide with fear? Time to panic. They're literally using your emotions to decide how they should feel.
This is so important, especially for new parents. Think about it this way. Your baby's nervous system is brand new. It doesn't know how to regulate itself yet. So you become their external regulator. Your calm face literally tells their body, hey, you can calm down. Your worried look teaches them, okay, that's something to be careful of. You are, in a very real sense, their nervous system's external hard drive.
And if you want to see just how vital this connection is, look no further than a famous and kind of heartbreaking experiment from the 70s called the still face paradigm. It starts out fine. A parent is playing with their baby, lots of smiles, everything's great. Then, on cue, the parent's face goes completely blank, expressionless. The baby notices immediately. They try everything to get a reaction back. They smile, they point, they make little noises. But when they get nothing, you can actually watch them fall apart. Their stress hormones spike, their little hearts race, and finally they just give up. They turn away. It proves that the stares isn't a one-way street. It's a conversation, and they desperately need you to answer.
All right, so let's recap. We know their brains are syncing with ours. We know they're reading our every move to figure out the world. But that leads to the biggest question of all, the one that really gets to the heart of this for parents. What is all this for? What are they actually building with all this information?
So, why do their brains need to sync up so badly? What's the end game? Well, this is where it gets really incredible. Because we're not just talking about feelings or social skills anymore. We're talking about actual physical construction happening inside their skull. What are they building? They build in the most important part of the human brain, the prefrontal cortex. You can think of it like the brain's CEO. It's the part that's in charge of all the high-level stuff, making decisions, planning, controlling impulses, understanding other people. Basically, it's what makes you, you.
And here it is, the big takeaway, especially if you're a new parent. Researchers at MIT put it perfectly. Staring back at your baby is, and I quote, literally construction work for your child's mind. Every single time you meet their gaze and smile back, you're not just having a sweet moment. You are a construction worker. You are laying the bricks and mortar for the architecture of their brain. You're building the hardware they'll use for the rest of their lives.
So, what does all this science mean for you when it's 3 in the morning, you're exhausted, and this little person is just staring at you? It means that in that very moment, you are doing the most important work in the world, and you are the only one who can do it. Now, because this connection is so important, it also means you should trust your instincts. If you feel like your baby consistently isn't making eye contact, if they don't seem to follow your face, or if it feels like they're looking through you instead of at you, pay attention to that feeling. It doesn't mean you should panic, but it's a cue to maybe check in with a professional. Because when it comes to brain development, the earlier you notice something, the better the outcome.
But please, remember this quote. No matter what, you are the most well-calibrated instrument in the world for reading your own child's face. You've put in the hours. You know their every little look and sound. No one, no doctor, no book, no expert knows your child better than you do. You are the expert.
So, let's just boil it all down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, your baby's brain sends out a signal, reaching for yours through that intense gaze. Step 2, they use your face as a map to learn how to be a person in this big, confusing world. And step 3, that connection, that gaze, is literally building the architecture of their future mind. It's the most important conversation you will ever have, and it happens without a single word being spoken. So, the next time a baby locks eyes with you and just stares, what are you going to see? You'll know it's not just a blank look. It's a question. It's a connection. It's a construction site. You're not just being looked at, you're being asked for help to build a mind.